Hello, this is Dr. Marty Klein with more sexual intelligence. Today I want to talk about wedding night blues, or as I call it, pity the virgins. Let's say there are about 50 million weddings a year around the globe. I figure about 85% of those wedding couples contain at least one virgin, and at least half of them have two virgins. I saw one of those couples in therapy this week, say Mr. A and Ms. B. They've been married 20 years. When they wed, she was a virgin, while he had had a few handjobs with somebody else. Their wedding night was an unconsummated mess, resulting in tears and confusion. Several days later, on their honeymoon, they tried again. And as they say, we failed again. Her vagina didn't get wet enough, he couldn't get his penis in, and eventually he lost his erection. They each took turns blaming themselves, and the next morning, they took turns blaming each other. For years after that, sex was infrequent, discouraging, just a total hassle. And now, they can't even remember the last time they tried to have sex. And the reason is not just the wedding night disaster. Years ago, she refused to let his niece stay in their home during her semester break. He was distant and cold during her miscarriage. She was bitter rather than supportive when he lost his job. Now, his new job required traveling to China, and he started to get massages there with happy endings. She was crushed when she found out, and that's what brought the couple to my office. But no matter what we talked about, it seemed that periodically we returned to their unhappy wedding night. I didn't know what to do, Ms. B acknowledged. I expected him to lead, to guide, to explain. When he couldn't, she said, I felt abandoned. Yes, replied Mr. A, all the pressure is on me, and when things went wrong, you made it clear it was my problem to figure it out, and I couldn't. Well, neither of them has forgiven the other, and I don't think they've forgiven themselves either. It's too easy to say that they got off to a bad start and never recovered, although it's true. Their personalities weren't a very good match, and their sexual visions were mismatched also. She imagined a kind, gentle, knowledgeable, but wholesome man. He imagined a sexy, enthusiastic, curious, but wholesome woman. And what their bedroom needed was an extra pair of gentle hands, and wise eyes, a confident smile, and an extra heart. But of course, that didn't come their way. I won't say that their marriage was doomed by virginity or sexual inexperience, but it certainly hasn't helped. Her virginity provided no reassurance for him, no spiritual haven for her. His inexperience made the wedding night nerve-wracking rather than special. People do not need to be sexually experienced before marriage to enjoy sex after it. But love and commitment generally are not enough to ensure a happily ever after. People who don't have intercourse need sex education as much as those who do. Everyone needs words for their body parts and information to combat common myths. Good decision-making skills and a sense of empowerment about their sexuality is valuable too. When people have good information, when they feel comfortable with their bodies, when they can communicate with a partner and believe that sex is lovely, their virginity is not an obstacle on the wedding night. But too often, virgin until marriage also means enforced ignorance, unfamiliarity with the other gender, discomfort with one's body, and a pile of taboos so high that people can barely see each other in bed. I feel bad for Mr. A and Ms. B, who didn't do anything wrong. In fact, they followed all the social rules with which they were raised, and they paid a common price. Here's what I propose. In all cultures that emphasize premarital virginity, redefine the wedding night as the start of a couple's sexual life together. That means the first night should just be looking at each other's bodies, the second, talking, the third, touching, the fourth, kissing, and so on. If it took God a week to create the world out of nothing, couples need at least that much time to create a sexual connection out of nothing. You'll also remember that God supposedly said, "Let there be light." So, to enable couples to see each other's naked bodies on the wedding night, let's start a new tradition. How about making the maternal aunt's honor to give the new couple a bedroom lamp? And she tells them the lamp needs to be on when they make love, especially the first time. I'm Dr. Marty Klein. Thank you for joining me. You know, I drop one of these little videos once every 3 or 4 weeks. So if you like, hit the subscribe button, definitely hit the like button, and you'll be pinged whenever I drop my next one. Thanks for joining me.